And here we go. As you can see, Sweet Pea, who just celebrated her 11th birthday last week, has gone into Savasana. She's resting easy on the floor, and hopefully she'll be quiet during the class. But our class today is going to focus on the lower body, building strength, building flexibility. And always a reminder, I know you know this, but it never hurts to say it again. Never work beyond your comfort zone, whatever that happens to be. And how do you know when you've reached beyond your comfort zone? If your breath becomes difficult to find completely. In other words, if it feels jagged, if you feel too tense to take a complete breath, that's a good indication to back off. And of course, any little sensations from your body that are moving beyond a good stretch to a feeling of discomfort, that's also a signal that you need to back away. So let's begin. Taking your seat, planting your feet on the floor, rolling your shoulders, settling into the breath, settling into the moment. Maybe doing any other little stretches that feel good. All this rain has made me kind of creaky and stiff. So I'm looking forward to this morning's practice. Settling in and allowing your eyes to close or gazing softly at the floor. And this is when we turn all of our attention to the breath. And think of the breath as the anchor, which keeps you firmly in the present moment. As you become quiet, notice any sensations that your body is holding on to, any emotions, as well as the busyness of your thoughts. And all those things that you need to do later will still be there when you're done with your practice. Give yourself the gift of this time. Softening the belly and allowing the breath to deepen into the three-part breath. Filling the body from the belly all the way up to the shoulders. And allowing the exhale to pour from the body, shoulders, chest, and belly. Even give your belly a little squeeze towards the spine at the end of the exhale. Bringing your attention back to the breath as often as you need to. Let's take 3 more complete breaths. Breathing in, breathing out, and letting that technique go and just taking a moment to notice how you feel. And we'll bring our centering to close by pressing palms together at the heart center and joining our voices in an Om. Deep breath. Om. Om. Shanti. Peace. May we all know peace. So as you breathe in, allowing your chin to lift up. And as you exhale, chin drops towards the chest. Moving slowly as you breathe in, lifting. Slowly and mindfully as you breathe out, dropping the chin. Breathing in and out. Let's do that once more. Deep breath in, chin lifts. And exhale, allowing the chin to drop. Bringing the head back to center. Let's turn and look over the right shoulder. Breathe in and then scanning the horizon. Slowly pivoting the head to the left. Breath in. Exhale to the right. Just gently turning your head from side to side. Let's do that once more. And back in the other direction. And then I'm just going to allow my right ear and my right shoulder to fall together, letting the weight of your right hand rest on top of your head. Gentle stretch. So you could here add a little forward and back rocking movement with the head, if that feels good. Release your hand, bring the head back to center. And then on an exhale, let the left ear and the left shoulder fall towards each other. Adding the weight of your hand on top of your head, if you'd like, as well as that little forward and back movement. Remember, the neck is very delicate. We don't want to overstrain. Good. One more time, forward and back. And then release your hand, return your head to center, and just take a couple of breaths. So we're going to work on the lower body, and hopefully you have a yoga tie close at hand in case you need it. We're going to begin with some leg lifts. So you can use your yoga tie looped around the sole of your foot to do this. Or if you don't need the tie, you can just lift and lower the foot. So let's inhale, lift, exhale, lower. And notice how the upper body stays quiet. Breathing in, lifting, exhaling and lowering. Strengthening that quadricep muscle, that big muscle in the front of the thigh. Good. So this time when we lift the foot, let's allow it to stay lifted. Point your toe, press it out through your heel. Just rocking the foot back and forth, maybe circling the ankle. Going the other direction. Now I'm going to bring my leg across my body. So you can either hold on to the leg or the toe, or here is also a good place to use your yoga tie. Just drawing the leg across, giving a nice stretch in the outer part of the thigh. Sitting up tall. And breathing. Good. So let's bend that knee now and draw it in towards the chest. Shoulders relaxed. Make sure those shoulders are sliding down your back body. Don't bring them up around your ears. Good. Make sure you're breathing. So let's take a hold of that knee with the right hand, draw it out to the side. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, draw it out, just like a gate, opening and closing. Let's do that a couple more times. Warming up the hip. Moving now into the figure 4 stretch. So wherever is comfortable for you to cross, I'm going to place my foot up on top of the opposite thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Deep breath in and adding a forward fold if you'd like. Slow, steady breath. We're always following the breath. Good. And inhale. Let's release that. Come on up. Uncross wherever you've crossed. And let's get ready to do the other side. So we're going to begin with the leg lifts. Remember, you can use your yoga tie if you like, or you can just lift and lower the foot. Breathing in and lifting, exhaling and lowering. So we're doing this with control. We're not flinging the leg up. We're moving it slowly up and slowly down. That way the muscle has to do a little more work. You can also hold on behind the thigh if that feels a little more supportive. Good. Let's lift that foot now and keep it lifted. And begin to rock the foot back and forth. Toe point, press out through the heel. Good. Let's circle the ankle. Other direction. And begin to bend that knee. Ooh, that feels good when the muscle relaxes. Holding on wherever is comfortable for you. Good. So let's get ready for the crossed leg stretch. Again, you can hold on to the toe, draw the leg across, or you can loop your tie around the sole of your foot and draw it across. Good. Make sure you're breathing. In through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. I see somebody just joined in. Good. One more breath here. Exhale, let it go. Good. We're going to draw the knee in again and then out to the side. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, open the gate. Exhale, bring it in. And just a reminder that these repetitive movements are what's helpful for getting the synovial fluid moving in the joint spaces, those natural shock absorbers that we have. Ready for the figure 4 stretch? Let's go. So crossing at whatever level is comfortable for you. I always take a minute to readjust and sit tall. Good. Adding that forward fold if you like. And on an inhale, bringing your torso back up, uncrossing the legs, and taking a few breaths. Let's do some sun salutations. Pressing those palms together to wake up the arms. Let's inhale and sweep the arms up. Look up if that feels all right for your neck. Exhale, little bit of a back bend. Inhaling back to mountain. Let's exhale and fold forward. Good. Place your palms on your knees. Come up halfway. Exhale and fold. And now reverse swan dive. Bring those arms up. Exhale, reach back. Breathing back to mountain and back to your heart. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale, reach it back. Coming into mountain and then folding forward. Come up halfway on an in-breath. Exhale and fold. Inhaling, sweeping those arms up. And exhale, reach back, lengthen back. Come back to mountain and exhaling right back to your heart. Take a few breaths. Good. Let's come into seated warrior. So I'm going to, oops, my cord is sticking out here. I'm all wired for sound with my microphone. Let's turn and face the left front corner of the chair. Feet are hip width apart, hands at the hips to begin. Spine is straight. So inhaling, let's send that right foot back on an exhale. Press the heel towards the floor. Good. Relax. Press it back and relax. So this time we're going to press the heel down, but let it stay there. Strengthen the upper body, add your arms if you like. And again, you can always add a little bit of a back bend here. Good. Return the hands to your hips and we'll move into warrior two. So you should be keeping that press down with that right heel. And that brings the muscle into an isometric contraction, which strengthens it, and pressing down into the sole of your left foot. So warrior two, left arm sweeps forward, right arm sweeps back. Gazing to the left. How about one more breath here? Good. Lower the arms. And now I'm just going to sweep my body around. So I'm facing the front, but my legs are still wide apart as we get ready for seated triangle. So I'm going to extend my right arm up, place my left arm against the inside of my left leg, and arch to the side. Both sit bones on the chair. Nice, steady breath. One more breath, please. Good. And then on an inhale, lower the arm. And let's raise that left arm and just do a little bit of a counter stretch. Bring it back to center. Bring your feet forward and just take a breath. We'll do all of those poses on the second side. So turning to face the right front corner, hands at the hips. Breathe in and send the left leg back. Again, noticing how the hip rolls down towards the floor. Press back through the heel and relax. Press down through the heel, feel those leg muscles engage and relax. Now this time pressing down through the heel, and you're going to keep that press as we move through the pose. Adding one arm of both arms out to the side or overhead. Even adding a little back bend if you like. Good. Ready for warrior two? Let's do it. So right arm sweeps front, left arm back. You might want to check and make sure that the arms are basically the same height, hopefully directly out from your shoulders. Good. And breathe. One more breath. And exhale, lower the hands. And again, we'll sweep the body around so we're facing forward. Legs are nice and wide apart in preparation for triangle. Left arm reaches up. Really stretch towards the ceiling. Stretch it long. Good. Bring that left arm to the inside of the left leg and arch. Feel both sitting bones on the chair. Breathing into the side body. Good. And let's do a little counter stretch here. So lowering the left arm, right arm sweeps up and overhead. Good. And release. And bring your feet forward. Pause for a breath or two. So we're going to come up to standing through chair pose, and we'll repeat that a few times. So we're going to stand up and then we're going to sit down. We're going to do that 3 times. The third time we'll remain standing. So moving your feet back slightly, allowing the heels to lift, hands at your hips. Good. Breathe in, exhale, standing straight up, shoulders back. Take a breath. Good. Press your legs back to feel the chair and sit down. Eyes should be on the horizon as you do that. Good. Let's do it again. Inhale, torso lifts, heels drop down. Knees are still bent. Good. Press the legs back, feel the chair, and sit down. Last time. Inhale, standing up, shoulders back, heels are down. Adding your arms for a more intense stretch. In through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. Good. How about one more breath? Great. Lower the arms, straighten your legs, and just wiggle them a little bit. Good. So just a reminder about the rules about standing work, how we can do it safely, how we can do it in a way that protects the knees and gives us the most support and relieves tension in the lower back. So remember, what you want to avoid is pressing the knees back. See how that accentuates the curve in my lower back. So by softening the knees and tucking the tailbone under, you relieve all that pressure and relieves the pressure in the knees. So remember to keep that alignment as we're doing all of our standing work. Great. Let's come to the side of the chair. So inhale, come on up on your toes. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, rock up. Exhale down. I don't want to step on my dog here. I don't think she would like that. Down. Breathing in, heels lift. Exhale, they lower. And once more, breathing in, lifting. Exhale, lowering. And just allow your feet to rock from side to side. And then roll around the edges of your feet. So you got to keep the knees really soft and the hips really soft. Let's go the other way. Good. Getting ready for tree pose. All of my weight is going to come onto my right leg, keeping that knee soft, drawing the left knee out to the side. So the foot can stay on the floor always, or you can place the foot up higher if you'd like to experiment with that with balance. You can always keep one hand on the chair, as well as separating your arms if your shoulders are tight. How about one more breath here? Good. Exhaling, hands come down, foot drops. Good. And let's do the other version of tree pose with the foot on the chair. And if that doesn't work for you, please feel free to repeat the first version. So I'm going to shift my weight to my left leg, soft knee, place the right foot on the chair with the knee drawn as far back as you can comfortably do that. Release one or both hands to build your branches. Good. Nice full breaths, belly, chest, and shoulders. Exhaling, shoulders, chest, and belly. Good. Inhale, exhale, lower your hands and release your foot from the chair. Good. So separating the feet, comfortable distance apart. Again, both knees are soft. We're going to move into standing triangle. So turning your right foot so the toes face the chair. Reach up with that left arm and arch over towards the chair. If you feel safe, release the chair. Make sure the feet are nice and flat and the knees are soft. Good. Inhale, exhale. Bring it down. And again, moving into that lovely little counter stretch. It always feels so good. And release. Step your feet together. So we're going to do some more strengthening for the legs, which also help with balance. We're going to do the leg lifts, 5 to the front, 5 to the side, and 5 to the back. And the reminder here is that if it's difficult for you to actually lift the foot off the floor, just slide the toe forward to the side and back. That's perfectly fine. Good. So here we go. Lifting and lowering. Upper body is quiet. Twice. 3 times. And 4. And 5. Let's go to the side. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And let's go to the back now. Once. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And let that go and notice all the work that went on in the supporting leg. Let's move into standing warrior. So I'm going to be stepping forward. So to make sure I have enough room to do that, I'm going to move my feet slightly behind the chair. I'm going to be stepping forward on the right foot. So take a breath in, send that right foot forward and sink down into your hips. Good. Take a moment to really feel secure. And then if you like, add the arms, one or both. Good. Ready for warrior two. So the feet are going to stay right where they are. I'm going to extend my right arm in front, left arm behind. Sink down a little more deeply. Gaze is quiet. Breath is steady. Once more, breathing in. Exhale, lowering the arms, stepping the feet together. Let's go into our quadricep stretch. So I'm going to have the weight on my right leg and bend the left knee. If you can manage to take hold of your foot and still stand up straight, please do that. Shoulders back, supporting leg soft. Good. And release. Take a breath. Let's go over to the second side. So we're going to be moving into tree pose first. Shifting your weight to your left leg. Begin to bend the right knee and choose a position for the foot that feels comfortable and secure. Building your branches. Once more, breathing in. Exhale, lowering the hands, releasing the foot, and getting ready for our other version of the tree pose. So weight comes to the right leg, left foot comes up on the chair. And again, you can always repeat the first version if this doesn't feel comfortable for you. Let's reach up. Build our branches. Again, hands can be separated. If your shoulders are tight, this will absolutely feel more appropriate for you. You want lots of space between the ears and the shoulders. Good. Inhale. Exhale, lower the arms. Release your foot from the chair. Step wide apart. Good. Nice soft knees. Getting ready for triangle. Here we go. So the left foot is facing the chair. Right arm is reaching up and we begin to arch. Ooh, stretch that hand towards the opposite wall. Good. Release your chair if you don't need it for balance. Check in with your breathing. Make sure it's easy, natural breath. That's your signal. Good. Let's release that and come into our counter stretch. Step the feet together and let's get ready for both versions of warrior. So again, you're going to step slightly back behind your chair because you'll be stepping forward. And we're going to be stepping forward with the left foot. Good. Breathe in, send that foot forward, sink down. Release one hand or both from the chair if that feels good. Keep your feet nice and flat on the floor. Fan the toes out. Helps with balance. Ready for warrior two. Here we go. Left arm comes forward, right arm goes back. A little bit of a deeper bend in the knee. Gaze is forward. Good. Inhale, exhale, lower the hands. Step your feet together and let's get ready for our quadricep stretch. Again, the two sides of your body will undoubtedly be very different in terms of flexibility. So not to worry. You're going to bend the right knee. If you can manage to grab your foot, drawing it as close to the buttocks as you can. Supporting knee is soft. Don't lock that knee. Keep the breath steady. Good. Inhale, exhale, lower the foot, and let's finish with the downward facing dog. So remember, your choices are to have your hands on the back of the chair or the seat of the chair, which is what I am going to do. And then walking your feet back. You want to feel the stretch all the way from your fingertips, down your back, down the backs of the legs. Allow your head to be soft and relaxed. Feel the belly move in and out as you breathe. Good. And let's release that by walking back towards the chair and taking a seat. So we'll finish up with a couple of twists. Start with the right arm, reach it out. Exhale, bring that palm to your left knee, left hand to the side of the chair. Getting a little bit taller each time you breathe in. A little bit of a deeper twist as you breathe out. And you can be free to cross the left leg over the right if you'd like. Good. Let's uncross. If you're crossed, bring around to the front and go to the other side. Left arm stretches out. Palm comes to the right knee, right hand to the chair. Good. If you want to add that leg cross, that's just fine. Let your shoulders keep sliding down your back. Once more, breathing in and allowing the exhale to bring you back around. Nicely done, everybody. So let's find our comfortable seat. So we want to be comfortable, but we don't want to be letting the muscles go. So you want to keep a little bit of sense of engagement, hands resting comfortably in your lap, eyes closing or looking at the floor. Letting yourself check in with your body and your breath. Feeling all those little shifts that have taken place during your practice. Maybe a little more energy, maybe a little deeper breath, maybe a little more flexible. Whatever there is to notice, allow yourself to notice. using the steady breath to stay present. Letting your breath get a little bit deeper now and bringing that to close just by adding some final stretches. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. There's just your way. Make it up as you go along. Ah. Good. And returning your hands to heart center with a deep feeling of gratitude for this practice. Let's join our voices in an Om. Om. Om Shanti, peace. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from fear. May all beings everywhere be healthy. And may all beings know peace. So I salute you all and thank you for joining me in my practice. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.